everyone. Today we are going to be talking with Christian and he's going to be telling us about AIMS. If you want to know about AIMS, then stay on the call. It's nice to meet you virtually, Christian. I think it's been a while. So we met last time, maybe sometime in 2022, right?
Yeah, since
Mm-hmm. So that's great. It's nice to have you.
it's my pleasure.
Okay, so can you give it like a short introduction about yourself?
Okay, just as you said, my name is Christian Nemekaweme. I'm originally from Nigeria, born and brought up in Plateau State, Nigeria. For my academic history, I actually did mathematics in University of Jos and came to AIM Senegal to do my master's program in big data.
Okay, that's cool. So, of course, that's what we are going to be talking about, how you transition from JOS and then coming to AIMS to do a master's in big data. So maybe let's start to talk about what AIMS is. So, what is AIMS?
Okay, AIMS literally is African Institute for Mathematical Sciences. So AIMS itself is a body that is spread across five different um, countries in Africa, which include Senegal, Cameroon, Ghana. We have that of South Africa and that of Rwanda. So it's a body that encourages scientific students who are bright-minded, who have a future in view perspective in order to bring them up to make Africa look the way we all want it to be. So it attracts great minds to build them up. That's one thing about AIMS that I love.
Okay, and you said that AIMS has five centers.
Mhm.
How do you decide on what center to go to, or you just are you given a center? How do you decide on what to do?
Okay. With regards to AIMS, right? First of all, knowing about AIMS is, for me personally, I knew it from my lecturer in the University of Jos. And for him, he actually did his in South Africa. So in deciding a center for yourself is by going through their portal, checking out what they are doing. And secondly, is aligning it to your interest, your future interest. So, for different AIM center, like specifically for the one I chose, which is AIM Senegal, it has different fields, which includes the big data, the cyber security, the mathematics courses, and there are also diversity of courses that can even push you towards climate, studying the weather and many other things. Even at some point, I did courses that has to do with statistics. Like it's just a broad. It has a many broad options. So that was even one of the main reasons I picked AIM Senegal. But for other aims, I believe they are also doing very wonderful things there.
Okay, so what this means is that different AIM centers have different focus then.
So they kind of, let's say, they kind of have different focus, but then their focus are kind of similar. That's one thing I would say. They are similar because one thing I know from friends, because I have communicated with friends even before applying. I know of a friend that applied to AIMS South Africa. So he told me that in AIMS South Africa, they do more of the mathematical aspects.
Okay.
Mathematics. Then for AIMS Ghana, I have someone there. The person told me, oh, they do more of big data and data sciences, little of mathematics.
Okay.
And if you go to Ames Cameroon, kind of something similar. So,
Okay.
so that is how I was able to weigh my options.
Okay. So it means then, data science, big data has a lot to do with mathematics. So it's like the mathematical sciences. So of course, all AIM center have something to do with mathematics, but the degree to which they study maths is different, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so also in terms of entry, being able to get into an AIM center, do you think one center is easy to get into than another, or it doesn't really matter?
Talking from my own personal experience, it really doesn't matter in terms of like looking at it. And why I said so is, once you have, you've come out with a very good result, and there are series of questions out there when you're doing your application. If
Mhm.
how well you're able to structure your statement, how well you're
Okay.
able to compose your the questions that they have asked you, and how you answer it can actually attract them, their interest, that oh, this person is actually capable, this person is actually qualified to come into this center. So for me personally, I don't feel that there is a particular thing, or let me say, oh, this one you have to be all this or all that
Okay.
before you be able to enter.
Okay, that's cool. So maybe that brings us to what the application process is like. When does the applications or when do the applications usually start? And do all centers start at the same time?
Okay, like generally, application starts 1st of December and it spans towards the next year, March 31st. Then one thing I know about AIMS South Africa, because of their academic calendar in South Africa, it's still the same portal where you still need to apply this thing, but then when the startup is kind of different, exclusively for South Africa, but for every other AIM center, they kind of start uniformly in a
Okay.
uniform way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And in terms of the application, what's the application like? What questions do they ask you? How long does it take to answer the questions? Are they difficult?
It's for me in terms of difficulty, no, it's not difficult. So these questions are literally things that you have experienced,
Mm-hmm.
asking you things that you have experienced, and also things that you feel that like is kind of a future prospect to you. So
Yeah.
they kind of ask you things like, oh, what school are you coming from? Oh, what kind of project did you do during your undergraduate? Oh, what is your focus? What are you thinking? What will you be doing with this program after graduation? How do you want to help Africa? How do you want to advance the world? Like these are normal questions that I feel that
Mm.
anyone with vision should be able to answer. Like it's as clear and as direct as it. So in terms of the timeline, it's kind of since you have from 1st December to 31st of March, it depends on you on how long or the kind of the amount of time you want to answer it. For me personally, because of I have to write these things constructively. I mentioned constructively because I have to write it constructively. It took me like a week. Because one, because this is a competitive application and I have to make it attractive. I have to make it top notch to be above standard or beyond standard.
Yeah, yeah. I think so for me, when I was making my application, I actually waited till close to the end. And so it's not too much, but they ask very small, small questions and so many. So I would say actually that it's good to start early. For example, maybe when the portal opens, check that what the questions are like, get everything ready, get your references and all, and then decide to spend 1 week and then just apply.
Exactly. So for me, like just as I said, I had my professor, my lecturer in the University of Jos, who
Yeah.
already has told me this thing. So before then, I was already prepared. Like, oh, these are how it's gonna be. I've already talked to my lecturers. Okay, hey, I'm going to apply. I'm going to apply to this. I'm going to apply to this. Then I now know that, oh, during this time, I personally started like the 1st of December. That was when I started my application.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
was when I opened the portal. But then when I tried open it, because they are just opening it, you see some kind of maybe network interruption at some point. But then at some point everything was moving well. And as you said, like there are some questions, as you said, hello, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
Hello.
Yes, I'm with you.
Okay.
Mm.
So, all right. So at some point, like for me personally, at some point, while I was answering those questions, which you said like they are so little, but they are much, right? They are so
Yeah.
little, they are much. But even as little as they are, I personally dedicated my time. I was like, okay, hey, I have to do this because I have other things to focus on,
Yeah.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. So in terms of the it means you are not going to write any tests after you make the applications. Like how do they, or okay, maybe let's still be on the application. What do you think you need to write in your application that makes you stand out?
You know, one of the things that you need to write that makes you stand out is your passion. It's your story. You have to constructively tell your story. You're not copying another person's story. And you know, when you're telling your story, it's from the sincerity of your heart. So you're like, hey, I'm writing this. This is me. And while writing it, yeah, it's just like a way of marketing yourself that this is
Yeah.
me. This is my capability. I can handle these things. I have handled storms in my life. I have actually gone through different academic levels, and this was how I was able to survive through it. How
Mhm.
articulate, you have to be articulate on how you do these things. And for me, once you do it, like you just submit it and
Yeah. I actually also think that once for applications in general, especially those that have to do with scholarships, it's good to have like a track record of impact. So,
hello.
yeah, I'm here.
Hmm.
So I was saying that for scholarship applications in general, it's good to show them that you have a track record of impact. So it's not like nobody's going to give you scholarship when you are sort of maybe I say selfish. You just only
Hmm.
have a kind of I'm very good academically, but what have I done in my community? So I think that these are also some of the things they look at. Did you teach while you were in school? Are you involved in some kind of activities in your in your community that is helping people? What do you intend to do in future? So if you include things like, oh, I intend to maybe help people in some way from the knowledge I get while doing my master's, I actually think you would stand a chance. Um,
Exactly.
yeah. So I also wanted to ask, after the applications are done, is that all? They just make the selection and you are selected? Oh,
Okay, okay, for me, I heard from people like I had a friend from Ames Rwanda. So for her specifically, she was like, "Oh, she submitted her application, and after a few months of submission, she just received a congratulation email."
oh,
But I exactly, yeah, that was her own superb. That was sweet. But for during my time after submitting, I had an interview and I also wrote a test. I was
yeah,
tested and I also was interviewed. And after that, I was then selected. So
yeah.
it's can be center specific.
Yeah, I also remember myself. I had to write a test as well, and I was interviewed. In fact, I think I had to make a video as well to send at some point, but it was during COVID, so maybe that was the reason. So I think they should familiarize themselves with what each center wants. Do
Exactly.
you know, for example, what kind of questions they should prepare for in terms of should they do, is the test like coding, mathematics, what does it involve?
For the testing, for mine, it was purely mathematical.
Okay.
Mathematics question, a relatable mathematics question that anyone from computer science, physics, statistics, mathematics should be able to answer. So it's not really an intense question that, hey, oh, I'm from computer science, I'm
Yeah.
scared that I won't be able to do this or that,
Yeah.
and is on normal topics from linear algebra or differential equation, which I believe this science field um, are kind of broad in.
Yeah, yeah, true. So I remember, maybe I should say I also did AIM Senegal for those that are listening that do not know. I think in my class we had people with various backgrounds, so people with mathematics, computer science, physics, and I think that all these backgrounds have like something to do with mathematics, which was why they were selected. So people should be ready to maybe in some centers, right, test not too difficult in linear algebra and calculus. Um,
Exactly.
yeah, so do you think, are you happy you went to Ames?
Personally, I was happy. I
Yeah.
was happy, but then during the test of time, it was rigorous.
Yeah,
It was at some point rigorous, for it's just like, hey, we're trying to prepare you for something ahead.
yeah,
And the way they made it is kind of, hey, if you can survive this, then you should be able to do a PhD. You should be able to stand out in anywhere you are. I know when a man is being built up or when a man is going through a process, there's always this fatigue that comes upon us. Like
yeah,
it's even comes to the point that we want to give up. This is normal thing in life
yeah,
and wanting to give up. But one thing I know is I never regretted the fact I went to Ames because it actually built me to the person I am currently. And I could even still encourage people who are qualified for it to apply for it. It will build you to make you strong
yeah.
mentally, academically, sociologically, in anything.
That's great. So maybe what are the benefits of being in Ames? Do you find like after school, even while we are in Ames, do you think that there are some benefits attached?
Yeah, so one thing is the benefit attached with AIMS is now apart from AIMS teaching you, right? If you're someone that has zero knowledge in coding, that is these are like they are going to actually expose you to those kinds of things. So the benefit that attached to you is that one, you have a coding skill, which now the world we are into is evolving towards that direction in data driven, in coding, how well you can able to understand computer languages. So for me, after AIMS, it provides you with opportunity to forge your academic if you want to. It provides you with the opportunity to build platforms for yourself. Like I know of someone after graduation, he created a platform for himself, a platform for what? For language, like language translations and all that, and he keep on advertising it. And it also provides you opportunity to work in companies. Like immediately after my internship, before my doctoral degree, which I'm currently doing, I worked in a sewing factory. Like it's kind of move you to anywhere.
Yeah.
That's one thing I would really I really benefited from there.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, even I, as a doctoral student, I'm a beneficiary of what AIMS does, right? So I think one of the things I really appreciate is even after studies, they really ensure that you get a job or they help you to get jobs or internships and all of that. So you also mentioned something about internships. What is that?
Internship, like so internship, like before talking about internship, I want to first of all outline that okay, for AIMS Senegal, right? And why
Mm-hmm.
I'm mentioning it is just for the audience to also know another unique thing about AIMS Senegal, because AIMS Senegal has two program in itself, which is the normal regular master's program, which is for 10 months, and we have the 18 months on which we call the cooperative program. So in the 10 months on, you are not offered an internship. Then in the 18 months on, you are offered an internship. Then what then is that internship? Internship is a provision which they help you to get into the industry or into research on those things that you feel like you can actually do. And then it's exposing you to the world. you not just being on the on a classroom, but then you are now expressing, or you are now practicalizing, or you are now applying those things that you've done in classroom in the industry, in the world view. So
Mm.
that's what in internship could be or is.
Okay, so it means that only the cooperative masters do the internship then.
So, okay, now the cooperative, so that is how the cooperative is designed.
Yeah,
But then for those people in the normal master's regular,
yeah.
everyone that shows interest, they still kind of link those people into
Okay.
this. Because I know of someone that also was linked because he showed interest beyond every other person.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. And I think maybe some few last questions. Do you need a
Okay.
passport to apply? Do you need to have a passport before you can apply?
No, you don't need a passport before you can apply, but you need a passport to fly over.
Okay. Yeah, of course. And is the scholarship fully funded?
It's fully funded, everything paid.
Okay, but I think for AIM Senegal, for some programs, for the data science program, students are now required to pay, except they have some special kind of scholarship. So they now have students that pay and students that have partial funding or full funding and something
Oh,
like
so
that.
I'm just getting to know that. That
Yeah,
must be a new
yeah,
development,
yeah.
right?
It's a new development. I think it started last year or 2 years ago. But
Oh,
it's actually possible to get a fully funded scholarship or you pay something.
hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's mostly the questions I have to ask. Do you have any final words?
The only thing I can say to the viewers out there is that, yeah, it can be discouraging most times when you're applying for scholarships. But one thing we keep on advising those people out there is you should keep on doing it. You should keep on pushing. You keep on pushing until something happens. It will be discouraging to some extent. Some people apply once and they get, some people you have to apply on and on and on until it's not because of you are not qualified. Now, there are many qualified people, there are many thousands of applications that they have to look into. And out of those thousands of applications they have to look into, they just have to select. Are you getting me? To select. And most times it's not because of you are not able, but that's just one thing I want to mention. It's not that you are not able, but you are, yeah, it's not that you're not able, but that is how the situation actually came out to be. So keep on pushing, push that your passion. Definitely someday you will be there.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, you have a lot of stories to share, and yeah, living proof that you just keep on pushing and you get where you want to be. So it was really nice having you. Um, I wish you all the best in your current doctoral program, the exams you have to write, and yeah, so we meet some other time.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Bye.